and this is his palace. I need to go and get my ticket because I'm using a passport, so I have to go and get a ticket. Let me figure out how I'm gonna get a ticket. See, all the Chinese people, they could, all the Chinese people could just use their IDs. I cannot. I need to go and get my ticket exchanged. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Rita. Thank you, Guitar Rack. So we're about to go in, but before I go in, I need to get my tickets. This is very annoying. Like I said, thank you, Ms. T and Pat Zurich. This is very annoying when you come here with a passport. Thank you, Charlie, man. Charlie, I appreciate you. Thank you, Penny. It's very annoying when you... Zurich, this is very annoying when you come here with a passport. Thank you, Charlie, man. Charlie, I appreciate you. Thank you, Penny. It's very annoying when you come out here with a passport. You have to go and get your ticket, physical ticket. All the Chinese people could scan their IDs. Thank you, Nikki Bell and Trina. I have to get my ticket. Let me go ask them how I'm gonna do this. Let me come in here real quick. Hold on one second. 哎，你好，我是用这个护照订的，他叫我换票在哪里啊？2小时哦，大门的左边是吧？就在对面是吧？那你还用换票 Alright, we gotta. Thank you, Gabby. Thank you, Lady Ace. They got me running around in circles, man. And now I gotta go over there. See, once again, all the Chinese people could just go in and scan their IDs. Thank you, Gabby and Big O. What's up, everybody? They could just scan their IDs. What up, Big O? Thank you, Emma. I gotta go and get a physical ticket because of my passport. Thank you, Dr. Debbie. Come over here. Come over here and get my ticket. Thank you, Slaw and Nikki Bell. Good morning. Good evening, everybody in the United States. Good morning, everybody in Asia. Come over here, get my ticket. Yeah, bro, ain't nobody in line. Hell yeah, get my ticket. Hell yeah. Front of the line, baby. 用护照换一张票。好，谢谢。Yeah. Yeah, get my ticket. Thank you, Nikki Bell and Jacqueline. Thank you, Guitar Rack and Dez. No, ain't no coupons, man. Got my ticket. Got my ticket, y'all. Thank you, Plant Groove and Nikki Bell. I actually went a lot faster than I thought. All right, so here's the deal, everybody. When you go to the Forbidden City, because the Forbidden City is so popular and there's so many foreigners who visit, thank you, CC. All you need to do is scan your passport. Prince Gong's mansion is not as famous as the Forbidden City. Therefore, you got to go and get a physical ticket like this. Okay, you have to get a physical ticket. I believe it's $5. All right, so this is what we're about to see today, and then we'll do a little city walk afterwards. Thank you, Nikki Bell. So without further ado, let's just go inside. Let's not waste any time. Well, let's go inside before the line gets long. Thank you, ARA, Nikki Bell. Place is huge. I know. I mean, you gotta understand, man. This place that we're about to go into belonged to the most corrupt politician in Chinese history. Thank you, Li. His name was He Shen. You can Google him. His name is one word, He Shen. H-E-S-H-E-N. He Shen. He is the most corrupt politician in all of Chinese history. There's no one more corrupt than him. And this is the private residence that he built for himself. He built this for himself. And obviously, you can't call this place He Shen's mansion. You know what I'm saying? That'd be very unbecoming. You know what I'm saying? You can't name this place after the original owner. He's a criminal. He was executed. So therefore, you gotta name it after Prince Gong, one of the people that got this after he was executed. Even though Prince Gong is a nobody, he was not really that important in Chinese history. He had no accomplishments. You know, let's go ahead and do the security check real quick. Let's go in there, and I will continue. Let's keep it moving. Alrighty, we have made it, everybody. We have made it inside. So let me continue with my story, all right, before we go in, okay? This is Prince Gong's mansion. The original owner of this mansion is a Qing dynasty official named He Shen. He Shen was the favorite politician of the Qianlong Emperor. The Qianlong Emperor loved him. As a matter of fact, Qianlong Emperor actually married one of his daughters to He Shen. Okay, thank you, Jas. Now, this was his private residence. Now, as we walk around here, let me walk over here to a quiet area and explain to you guys. I'm gonna have to repeat this point once again. Thank you, Susie T and Big Mac. I'm gonna have to repeat this point to y'all one more time. Come out to a quiet area. The reason why this place is named after this gentleman named Prince Gong, the actual spelling is G-O-N-G, Gong. Thank you, Nana and Jas. The actual name should be He Shen's Palace Museum, okay? But the reason, thank you, OMG fam, the reason it's not called He Shen's Palace Museum is because He Shen is a criminal. You can't name after this museum a criminal. Thank you, Nana and Keto Lee. Thank you very much. So they changed it to Prince Gong's Palace Museum. That sounds a lot better, right? Prince Gong, after He Shen was executed for corruption, thank you, Raisha, what they did. Thank you, Izzy, Jackson, Raisha. After he was executed, his house was given to members of the royal family and passed from one member of the royal family to another member of the royal family. It kept on being passed down. Prince Gong was one of the members of the royal family, one of the relatives of the emperor who received this particular house about 50 years after, maybe about 40, 50 years after the execution of He Shen. Okay, so this is why this is called the Prince Gong's Palace Museum and not called He Shen's Palace Museum. Okay, thank you, Nicole. Good morning, everybody in America. Good morning, everybody in China and Asia. Good evening, everybody in America. We are getting our live stream started right now. All right, and we're gonna do this is our last day in Beijing, by the way. We're gonna get up out of here this afternoon. We're going to the airport. Now, as we have a little moment of quietness, you have to remember, He Shen did not live at the Forbidden City, right? The Forbidden City is only for the emperor to live in. Even though he was Qianlong Emperor's most trusted and favored official, he did not have the right to live in the Forbidden City. So you know what? He corrupted so much money, he decided to build his own home in Beijing. We're not too far from the Forbidden City. This entire compound belongs to him. Thank you, Black Rose. Thank you, Maria. Let's keep it moving, everybody. I don't want to bore you guys with too much dense history, man. Let's just walk around. We'll probably be here for about an hour and a half. And then we got to go hit the streets. And then I got to go to the airport. Thank you, Lavish. And I want to give a shout out to my viewer, LJ. Okay, we got a great viewer named LBJ. We also have a great viewer named LJ who took me, one of the fans of the channel, who here locally in Beijing. Thank you, Guitar Rack and Cash Money. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Linda. One of the great viewers and fans of the channel, drove me to the Great Wall of China 3-4 nights ago, drove me here today. All my luggage is in his car, so I don't have to worry about storing my luggage, and he will take me to the airport after this live stream, saving me so much time. Thank you, Joni and Metro. So shout out to LJ. Shout out to LJ, man. Appreciate you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Joni. Thank you, Stacy. What is up, crazy grandma? Such a nice guy. I appreciate it very much. Thank you, Stacy. Just a great, great supporter of the channel. Thank you. All right, map of the residence. Okay, so you can see He Shen's house is built in really the same way that the Imperial Forbidden City is built. You're north to south. You see, the thing about Chinese imperial buildings you guys have to remember is that everything is straight up. Like nothing is all over the place. Everything is straight up and down. Okay, so if you look at the map of the residence over here, look at, I mean, hey, you got basically a complete residence here, man. We are here at the first palace gate, and then you got another second palace gate, probably for the guards, and then you have a hall. You got a study, you got a courtyard, you got a place to put the Buddhas. Thank you, Maria. You got another hall. Thank you, Sweet. Thank you, Maria. Thank you. You got just like halls everywhere. So let's just, without further ado, let's go ahead and walk in. Very much the imperial style. Thank you, Tar Heel Babe. Check this out. Thank you, Broly and Bodine. Wakey, wakey, everybody. One word is rich. Now, if I had to estimate, He Sheng was probably close to the first trillionaire in human history in terms of US dollars. He corrupted so much money. After he was executed, the Qing dynasty confiscated all of his personal wealth, and they discovered that his personal wealth is more than 2 to 3 years of the entire treasury income of the Qing dynasty. That was how much wealth he had personally accumulated. You guys should you guys should go online and do some research about him, because the amount of money that he had in his personal wealth is just unreal. I mean, unbelievable. He had essentially, in Chinese, there's a 成语, there's a saying in Chinese called 富可敌国. You know what I mean? Somebody is so wealthy, they're wealthier than countries. Like the person's wealth is more than a country's wealth. Basically used to describe He Sheng. He is the perfect description of 富可敌国. He had more money than the entire Qing dynasty. He had more money than the entire Qing dynasty government, which is crazy. Now, as we walk into his house here, first question is, how did he become so wealthy? Well, an unfortunate symptom of ancient China is that a lot of times the becoming wealthy in ancient China, thank you, Erica, is directly tied to becoming a politician with the court. So He Sheng was a court politician. He served the Qianlong Emperor. Thank you, Donna. Ever since he was a little boy. Security guard in my way, man. Let me keep it cool for a second. Man, ever since He Sheng was a little boy, young man, he was extremely liked by the Qianlong Emperor. So in other words, the Qianlong Emperor really liked him. Okay, they were good friends. He was trusted by the emperor. So even at a very young age, he just kept on rising through the ranks because of the personal liking that the Qianlong Emperor gave him. Okay? And also, he was also a very intelligent man. He was well written. He could write poetry. He was well educated. He was well spoken. He was just a very smart and intelligent individual. Thank you, AMC 16. And he was very loyal to the emperor. He was very, very loyal to the emperor. Come over here real quick. Yes. Very, very loyal to the emperor, and eventually he became essentially the prime minister. A position. Thank you, Pepper. He essentially became the prime minister. So you know what? Enough with the dense history. Let's just walk around, take a look at the buildings, and then we'll keep walking around in Beijing. Thank you, Maria. Yes, he tried to build his own palace. This is his own palace. You're exactly right. See, everything here is just a little bit smaller than the Forbidden City. Thank you, Kita. But it's got exactly the same flavors. And I'll tell you what I mean by that. If you look at almost identically the sides of the buildings over here, you see all those auspicious animals on the sides of the buildings. Isn't that exactly the same as the Forbidden City? Right? Isn't that what the Forbidden City did with all those animals on the sides? Right? So essentially what He Sheng did is he built a mini Forbidden City for himself. Thank you, Marlene. Dang, this is a lot of people, and there's a lot of tour groups. But it's all good, though. Hopefully our signal will stay all good. Thank you, Kita. Thank you, Mark. Let's keep it moving. Thank you, Steph and Mark and Gong and Marilyn. Hearts help us move up the rankings, everybody. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. Let's go further into this mansion. Now, traditionally, all major Chinese imperial... By the way, this is the most well-preserved... Thank you, Li. Of all the Qing Dynasty mansions, this is the most well-preserved official's home. Thank you, Donna. So out of any Qing Dynasty building that didn't belong to the emperor, it belonged to a prince, or it belonged to an official, okay? This is the most well-preserved one. And here's a great point I actually want to make to you guys. Check this out right here. Thank you, Greg Robertson. Here's something to think about, yo. Here's something to think about. Thank you, Mutha and Greg. Here's something really important to think about. What is the concept of a prince? What is a prince? Think about it. Why did the prince live here? Right? This is a fundamentally important question for the Americans back home to understand the way that the imperial family functioned, okay? Because you guys have to remember, a emperor had a lot of baby mamas. The emperor had a lot of kids. Some of them were daughters, some of them were sons. So the emperor could have like 20, 30 sons. Thank you, Jeffrey. Right? They could have like 20 or 30 sons, but only one son can become the emperor. So what happens to the other 19 sons? Right? Let's say the emperor had 20 sons. Only one of them can go on to become the emperor. What do you do with the other 19 sons? Thank you, Sue and Michelle. You think about that, right? Because Chinese history is filled with emperors, with multiple women, a lot of consorts, a lot of concubines, a lot of empresses, right? Only one child can become the emperor. So what happens to the other sons? Well, they are what I call princes. So eventually, what they do in modern Chinese history, in like, let's say the Ming and Qing dynasty, in the relatively recent dynasties, what the emperor did is that he would assign his sons that would not become emperor to become governors of certain distinct regions in China. So for example, let's say Zhu Yuanzhang, the founding emperor of the Ming dynasty, he would send one of his sons to go ahead and become the governor of Changsha. He would send another son to become the governor of, let's say, somewhere in Henan. He would send another son to become the governor of this region over here. So essentially, the entire country was run by his own clan. Does that make sense? Okay, so it's like nepotism. So the reason why this is called Prince Gong's mansion, this man, Prince Gong, is one of the sons of an emperor who never became emperor. But you still have to make sure that he lives a pretty comfortable life. You know what I'm saying? He can't be living in a random house, right? He is still the emperor's son. He just didn't become emperor. So he is the current emperor's brother. So you still have to fix him up with something nice to live in. You know, you can't put him in a low 2-bedroom apartment. He's the emperor's son. So you gotta fix him up with a mansion like this. This is why we use the word Prince Gong. Okay? Prince Gong. Now in Chinese history, there's another word to describe such men. If you reach back earlier in Chinese history, the other word to describe such men in Chinese history is actually called a marquis. M-A-R-Q-U-I-S, a marquis. Okay, so a marquis is a similar concept. A marquis is someone who is assigned by the emperor to govern a particular region. So he acts as the king of his own little dominion so long as he follows the orders of the emperor. You become a marquis. Okay, marquis in Chinese is called a houjie, not a monkey. Okay, a marquis. Okay, a houjie means you are basically like a king of your own domain. Thank you, Tashi and Marlene. Now, before we go in here, one last fun fact. Some of the best treasures in Chinese history in museums today. Some of the best Chinese museums, some of the best artifacts. Marquis. Does anybody back home in America know the reason why? Why is it that some of the best museum artifacts ever found in Chinese history on display today in modern museums are found in marquis and princess museums? Does anybody know why? Thank you, Chatty Cathy and Kirby. Does anybody know the answer? I'm trying to quiz y'all a little bit. Anybody know the answer? I'm trying to see if anybody... Lesser known, so Christopher's a lesser known. They were not looted as much. All the emperor's tombs were looted, hidden, stolen. A lot of interesting answers. The number one answer is very simple. The Chinese government prohibits the opening of emperor's tombs. It doesn't matter if it's been robbed before. It doesn't matter if it's untouched. The Chinese government does not allow archaeologists and historians to open the tomb of an emperor or an empress. So we don't even have an opportunity to go in. Does that make sense? Thank you, CT. We don't even have an opportunity to go in. Does that make sense? You can't even open an emperor's tomb. So no matter what's in there, we will never know because the Chinese government doesn't allow you to open an emperor's tomb. So the same does not apply to marquis and princess. You can open those. You can open those. This is why some of the nicest things in Chinese history today are from marquee and like politicians' tombs, because the emperor's tombs are off limits to the archaeologists. Let's go in here, keep it moving, follow the channel, and share this live stream. Now, hopefully we don't lag in here. Check this out. There's a lot of people here. Look at this. And look at these ceilings, by the way. Look at this. Thank you, Saturn Zoom. Look at this. Is the signal okay? Thank you, CT. Thank you very much. Look at that. Thank you, buttons. This is beautiful. And by the way, in case you're curious how a top-level Qing Dynasty official dressed every single day, how he wore, what did he wear to go to work? This is it right here. Thank you, Cecilia. This is what a top-level official in the Qing Dynasty wore to go to work every single day. Look at that. Let's see this. And the fact that he has a dragon just goes to show you, man. Thank you, Lexi and Pepper. He has the mandate of the emperor. Nobody else is able to wear this. Okay. So this is how a Qing Dynasty official dressed to go to court every day. Actually, this is how the prince dressed. This is why he has a freaking dragon, because he's a member of the imperial family. Thank you, Cece and Lane. And if you look at all the officials in the Qing Dynasty, they all wore these hats on top of their head. These red hats. You see that? So if you guys watch, any of you guys like to watch Chinese dramas, thank you, See Me. Thank you, Plum Cloud. Any of you guys like to watch Chinese dramas? Thank you, Susie T. You guys will remember the hats that they wear on their heads. Very distinctive. Very cool. Let's keep it moving. There's a lot of people here. Look at the ceilings a little bit more. Let's get up out of here. Thank you, Sweets. For those of you that love to watch Chinese dramas, that hat should be very familiar to all of you. All right, let me show you guys this. You guys remember when we were here 3 weeks ago at the Mukden Palace? Thank you, Lexi. You guys remember we saw this physically with our own eyes at the Mukden Palace? You guys remember that? This was in the city of Shenyang. Okay, so this is, you guys remember those two dragons that were coiling at the front? We had a tour guide. You remember that female tour guide that we had? Absolutely beautiful. This was in the Mukden Palace. Let's keep moving, man. Follow the channel. This is the Qing Dynasty Emperor. Let's go ahead and get out of here. Go ahead and get out of here. So essentially what they did with this place is very simple. By the way, show you guys what this place looked like about 100 years ago. These photos look like they were at least 60, 70, 100 years old. We're gonna see some cool stuff later on today. This is just the beginning, the entrance. This is the first level of doors to enter his house. Okay? And I would imagine there were a lot of imperial guards here to protect him. The best way to understand He Shen's position in the Qing Dynasty is that he was basically the vice president. Nah, that's not even a good comparison. You know, thank you, Susie T, for all the Americans back home. Imagine the Qianlong Emperor as the official head of the state. So for example, he is like, let's say he is President Joe Biden. Okay, so let's say Qianlong was President Joe Biden. The one person who actually did most of the work was He Shen. So I can't really call him the vice president. He was basically the man who actually did most of the work on behalf of the Qianlong Emperor. For example, let's talk about some very important events in human history. When the British sent their envoy, Lord Macartney, to go and meet Rahm Emanuel, that's a good one. That's a good one. The former mayor of Chicago, that's a good one. So when the Rahm Emanuel, that's a good one. That's a good one. The former mayor of Chicago, that's a good one. So when the British envoy, Lord Macartney, headed by Lord Macartney, came and visited Beijing in 1793 to get an audience with the Qianlong Emperor, that entire visit was arranged by He Shen. Okay, that entire visit was planned and arranged by He Shen. And for those of you that like history, I'm gonna tell you guys this quick story a second time. So during that visit, there was a dispute between Lord Macartney and the Qing Dynasty on whether or not Lord McCartney, when he was in the presence of the emperor, should get on both knees and kowtow and touch his forehead to the ground. Lord McCartney refused to do it because in his mind, King George was the only person he would bow to, okay? And he, in his opinion, had felt that the British Empire was already the most powerful place, the most powerful nation in the entire world. Personally, he did not want to kowtow to the emperor. But he also really wanted to see the emperor. So what was the ultimate compromise they reached? The ultimate compromise was basically he got down on one knee, like he was trying to propose to the Qianlong emperor. Okay, he got down on one knee in front of the emperor instead of getting on both knees and kowtowing. He basically did a modern proposal. He got bent on one knee when he saw the Qianlong emperor. Okay, it's a very interesting moment in human history with a British diplomat in 1793 seeing the Qianlong emperor for the first time. You guys should all read his book. Qianlong emperor for the first time. You guys should all read his book. He actually wrote a book. He actually wrote a very when he was here in China in 1793. He went back to England by boat. And it's a very interesting book. Seriously, you guys should read the book. Very, very interesting. Good evening, everybody. Good morning to you, Melinda. Thank you, Stan. Please follow the channel and share this live stream. Let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it moving. All right, just look at how fancy his home is. Okay, beautiful. This is just really typical Qing Dynasty architecture. It doesn't get any more typical than this. Trees are beautiful. Everything about his house is beautiful. You know, and so you guys might say, well, if he was so trusted by the Qianlong emperor, why was he executed? Does anybody know the answer? Why was he executed at the end anyway? Well, he wasn't executed. He was told to execute himself. He was given a rope, okay? So why do you guys think he ultimately still had to be executed at the end of his life? Why do you guys think? Any answers? He got caught slipping. Thank you, all things. Any of you guys have any ideas? Any ideas? He was guilty. Exactly. Jack has got the right answer, man. Jack has got the right answer. Thank you, Jose. Thank you, Stan. The answer is very simple. The Qianlong emperor died. The Qianlong emperor passed away, so his protector had passed away. The emperor that succeeded the Qianlong emperor was called the Jiaqing emperor. The first thing the Jiaqing emperor did was to strip He Sheng of all his power. Okay, so ultimately He Sheng was indeed executed. Well, he was made to execute himself because the emperor that loved him basically passed away. He passed away. The Qianlong emperor passed away. Okay, so let's keep it moving, everybody. Let's keep it moving. He Sheng is almost like a widely known person in China today. Most educated people know who He Sheng is. He is basically synonymous with corruption. He is the synonym for corruption. Okay, let's keep moving. Thank you, Heron. Thank you, Peony and Ashley. Let's keep it moving. Follow the channel. Share this live stream. Thank you, Melinda and Ashley. Let's go through this door over here. Well, I'm not going to spend too much time at this palace because I do want to hit the streets a little bit before we go to the airport. Thank you, Gospel and Wonderful, North Carolina, Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Hit the follow button and share this live stream. Come over here real quick. Thank you, Tashia. Once again, this is my first time in here as well. I've never been in here before. Thank you, the great. All these times I've been to Beijing, I've never taken the time to come out here. Beautiful. My mom and dad tell me that they're okay. The house is not damaged. There's no flooding. So hopefully it stays that way. Thank you, the great. And hopefully wherever you guys are, there's no flooding. You guys still have power. Well, my parents are okay in North Carolina. They are okay. Let's keep it moving. Let's come over here and see what this is about. Whew. You know, the one thing that I will tell you this about He Sheng, he was very corrupt, but he was also very loyal to the emperor. You see, look at this right here. Y'all see this right here? Isn't this basically just a mini version of what we saw at the Imperial City, at the Forbidden City? You guys remember those elephants that we saw at the Temple of Heaven that was reserved for the emperor, right? Look at this. He even has like 4 words on top. Right? I don't even know what that says. 同德言什么? I don't even know what that says. I don't even know what the last word on the left says. You read this right to left, by the way. Look at this. Look at this. Beautiful. Yes, I'm streaming in Taiwan. Look at this. Beautiful. This, I would imagine, is where He Shen sat. And just look at this. Look at all those books. Thank you, Valkyrie, for the first gift. Thank you so much. Thank you, Wendy, for moderating. Man, I like how this employee is in there working. He just be touching everything. You know what I'm saying? He went in there. His hands be touching all these chairs and shit. And we, the tourists, can't go in. But this employee be touching everything. He was touching the back of the seats and stuff. Like this was his house. He was like, "That's my house. I'm the captain now." He be touching stuff. I love it. By the way, if you guys take a look at this, this is a very traditional Chinese style courtyard living room. What I mean by that is the owner is going to sit in the middle. But here's what's really interesting, guys. Listen to this point that I'm about to make. This just goes to show you the prestigious position of He Shen. Usually in a big house like this in the living room, if you guys have watched me enough, you will remember there should be 2 chairs. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Melinda. There should be 2 chairs. One on the right, one on the left, right? The owner will sit on the right side. That's the esteemed side here in China. And the visitor will sit on the left side. That's usually the things that we've seen here in China. 2 of these, right? Here, he basically treats himself as like a king, right? Thank you, Lori. He basically treats himself as like a king. He sits in the middle. All the visitors have to sit on the side over here, right? Thank you, Lori. Thank you so much. Thank you, the grateful. Thank you, Chester. So it just goes to show you the high position that he gave himself. Thank you, La Bonita. If you guys have watched enough of my live streams, you will know what I mean. In the middle, there's usually 2 chairs. One on the left, one on the right. In this case, only one. And in the back, see that screen on the back? Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Diane. Beautiful. Usually a lot of wealthy Chinese homes in historical times will have a screen like this in the back. Thank you, Terry. Thank you, Tasha. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. And now, just look at how beautiful this looks. Look at this. Looking fancy. Thank you, Joanne. Now, this home would have been constructed somewhere in the late 1700s, early 1800s. So this is about 200 to 230 years old. This home right here. Let's keep moving. And you know, and the other thing is, you guys have to remember, man, when you're coming here to visit, you're coming here to see this place, you guys have to remember, they're going to try to minimize the presence of He Shen because, once again, he was a criminal, right? The place is not named after him. It's named after a prince, right? But it's like everybody who's coming here knows that you are here to see He Shen's house. You don't give a damn about no Prince Gong. You're here to see He Shen's house. But it's kind of like an unwritten understanding that you're here to see him and his house. Like, for example, if you read these words over here, okay, you see, this is the place where Prince Gong met with court officials and envoys from foreign countries, right? So this is what's interesting about this. It doesn't mention He Shen at all, right? You can see that Prince Gong is the main character in this plaque over here, right? It's almost as if his presence has been erased from this place. Why? Because he was a criminal, right? You don't want to have a place to celebrate a criminal. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to have a place to celebrate a criminal. So this is why this plaque here, I knew this was going to be like this, by the way. It's going to talk about this prince over here. I don't know why there's a bunch of people surrounding me and shit. Huh? Let's keep moving. A bunch of people around me. So I have to remember this point. Everything in this entire courtyard that we're visiting is going to talk about this is where the prince lived. This is where, it's not going to say this is where He Shen hid his millions. You know what I'm saying? This is where He Shen hid his billions. This is where He Shen has 10 of his baby mamas. They ain't going to say it like that. You know, because they don't want to glorify a criminal. They don't want you guys to glorify a criminal. But everybody who's here, nobody says, I'm here to see how Prince Gong lived. Everybody has an unwritten understanding that we're here to see how He Shen lived. Does that make sense? So let's keep it moving, everybody. You cannot glorify a criminal. You know, basically it's like this. It's almost like this. Imagine, like, let me put it this way. I think this is the best way to put it for all the Americans back home. Imagine you can go visit Al Capone's house. Okay? I think most Americans know who Al Capone is. Imagine you can go and visit Al Capone's house, except Al Capone's house was later occupied by, let's say, the mayor of Chicago, okay? They wouldn't call it, for example, theoretically, they didn't call it Al Capone's house. They would call it, let's say, Mayor Emanuel's house. And when you go into Mayor Emanuel's house, you would see all the artifacts are about Mayor Emanuel. All the plaques and signs are about Mayor Emanuel. They erase all trace of Al Capone because they don't want you to glorify a criminal like Al Capone. It's the same concept over here. This place is famous because it was He Shen's house. Don't nobody give a damn that it's because of Prince Gong. The reason why this place is famous and there's millions of people that visit here every year, thank you, Charlie and Maria, is because it belonged to He Shen. Just like people go to Al Capone's house, for example, to go see Al Capone, not because they want to see, hypothetically, let's say, the mayor of Chicago. Does that make sense? Thank you, Charlie. Thank you, Felipe. Hopefully this makes sense to everybody. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's see what we got in here. Thank you, Terry, for sharing. Please share this live stream, everybody. Hit the share button, y'all. Please share this live stream. What the hell? What the? Man, thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank you, Jeannie. I appreciate you. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. So this right here, this is gonna be too dense for me to explain, man. I don't really wanna, this is way too dense, man. So I'm just gonna explain to you guys. First of all, this is our word of the day, Hong, which means red. Hong Lo Meng is the name of this book. This letter right here is our word of the day, Hong, H-O-N-G, which means red, the color red, okay? I'm just gonna explain a 30-second briefer on this. This book is called Hong Lo Meng, Dream of Red Chamber. It is considered by most people to be the greatest Chinese book ever written in history. Okay, in Chinese history, Hong Lo Meng is generally considered to be the greatest book ever written. In English, it's called Dream of Red Chamber. Hong Lo Meng, Dream of Red Chamber. It was written by a Qing Dynasty man named Cao Xueqin. That's his name right here. Yeah, his name is right there. So the reason why this is here is they believe that the buildings that they describe in Hong Lo Meng and Dream of Red Chamber is very similar to the buildings that you see here at the Prince Gong's mansion. Now, let me explain something to you guys, man. Do you know what all these people here are doing? All these men, all these women here are doing? Let me explain to you when I come outside, when there's not too many people. For all the people that are interested in the history, the arts, Hong Lo Meng, The Dream of Red Chamber, is such an important book. I mentioned it cursory in passing in my live streams before. Hong Lo Meng is without a doubt the greatest book, in my opinion, the greatest literary book in Chinese history. It's got to be number one. In my opinion, it's number one. Okay, either that or Journey to the West, in my opinion. Romance of the Three Kingdoms, possibly, but greatest book in Chinese history. Thank you, Sandy, and all things. You have to remember, Dream of Red Chamber is a very difficult book to read. My father had a hard time reading that book, and my father's very well educated. Thank you, all things. That book is so hard and so deep to understand. A lot of academic scholars devote their entire lives to studying one book. And the entire field of study is called Redology. R-E-D-O-L-O-G-Y. Y'all can Google it. There's of study is called redology. R-E-D-O-L-O-G-Y. Y'all can Google it. There's literally a Y'all can Google it. There's literally a scholars, one book. I'm talking about PhDs. I'm talking about accomplished PhDs. I'm not talking about college graduates or master's degree. I'm talking about PhDs who devote their entire life to studying one field and one field only. And that's the book, Dream of Red Chambers. So that'll tell you how crazy that book is, how amazing that book is. There are men and women who devote their entire lives to studying that one book, okay? And this is not just in mainland China, by the way. It's also in Taiwan, China. Some of the best Honlo Meng redology scholars are actually in Taiwan, China, are in Taiwan Chinese universities. Some of the best professors who teach about Dream of Red Chamber are actually Taiwanese Chinese. So not only is it very popular in the mainland, it's possibly even more popular among scholars in Taiwan, China. Very, very interesting. I have read Honlo Meng, so I do know the plot to the book. What I read was a basic middle school version where they basically summarized the whole book in like 300 pages using simple to understand Chinese. There is a zero chance I can understand the original script. The original script my father will have a hard time understanding it. My mother doesn't really like history, so she would really have a hard time. Very flowery language, it's hard to understand. Thank you, Marlene. So let's keep it moving, everybody. That was a little bit of history lesson. For those of you that are curious, it's called Dream of Red Chamber. The entire field of study is called redology. Very interesting. Let's keep it moving. You know, what's kind of sad about it, by the way, is that all the redology scholars nowadays, thank you, David KW, are now all quite old. You know, which is sad because no one's going to take their place. Very few young people are interested in this field. You know, which means that when these older folks are retired and they're no longer doing this, I don't know who is going to take the torch from them to pass this on. Because young people nowadays, you know, they really want to study things that'll give them a good employment, that will give them a good job and give them a high income. So a lot of them study to go on like, you know, finance, software engineers, engineering. Not as many people want to study things like redology anymore here in China because it doesn't make any money. So this is what I get worried about is what's going to happen to this beautiful study once the older scholars either retire or are no longer doing this, because you can still do this in retirement. That's what makes me worried about who's going to pass the torch to. Okay, thank you, Hostel 7. It'll be lost. It'll be lost. So let's keep it moving, y'all. And for all the Americans back home, you could get the English translation version of the Dream of Red Chambers. Obviously, it won't be as good as the original because a lot of the feelings and emotions is conveyed in the original language. But it's a very, very good book. Thank you, Kareen. Worth to watch it, worth to read it in any language. Well, let's keep moving. Who's this? Let's keep it moving, man. It's raining a little bit. So I came to Beijing on the first day, got off the overnight train. It was raining. On my last day here, as I get ready to leave Beijing, it rains again. There's a Chinese saying, 好雨知时节. A good rain knows when to fall. My ass is about to leave, it rains. My ass showed up, it rains. In between, no rain. Think about that. 好雨知时节, right? I think that's good luck, man. I think we're about to have some good luck. Let's keep it moving, everybody. Let's keep it moving. Thank you, nobody of note. Keep it moving. All right, let's see what we have here. Note. Keep it moving. All right, let's see what we have here. They got a lot of museums over here. Oh, this is Peking opera. This is cool, man. This is traditional Peking opera. So they have some cool museums here of very, very cool Beijing history. Thank you, Tweet Talk and Matilda. Touch that good luck statue, man. That's right. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Look at that. Thank you, Dominica. What is this? Oh, so this is a memorial to this gentleman over here who had passed a long time ago. Thank you, Zest. So this gentleman had passed quite a while ago, but this is a memorial to the performances that he gave on. I think this has got to be some type of Chinese opera. So let's keep moving. Let's briefly walk through this, show you guys how the traditional Chinese opera performers, what they wore. By the way, you can still see the original foundation here. You see that? Look at that. Look at that. Thank you, Dominica. Look at this. Gorgeous, man. This is what the performers will be wearing. Look at all the okay, look at the intricateness of this clothing over here. Thank you, Blue Jambi. Fucking beautiful, man. Thank you, Eileen Marie. Oh yeah, this is definitely traditional Chinese opera. Believe it or not, this is actually a gentleman. This is not a lady, this is a gentleman. Thank you, Blue Jambi. Look at that. Thank you, Black Nika. And give you guys some more photos of this. You see, usually in traditional Chinese opera, photos of this. You see, usually in traditional Chinese opera, their face is always very, very beautiful. Thank you, Rico. Thank you very much. Let's keep it moving. Might be lagging a little bit indoors, but we're gonna keep it moving. Go ahead and get up out of here. We're lagging a little bit. Thank you, Herman. Thank you, Herman. Boom. Good body. Hopefully no more rains. Go and get up out of here. Thank you, Herman and Peony. Let's keep exploring the mansion. Then we hit the streets. Get up out of here. Okay, I should go this way. Thank you, Herman. By the way, man, this is my first time getting on the flight. And thank you, Kizzy and Moni. This is my first time flying tonight, this afternoon, in like 6 months. Y'all know I don't like to fly. First time flying since probably Chengdu. Thank you, Herman and Jeannie. Y'all know I don't like to fly. So, man, not looking forward to that. Thank you, Nobody of Note and Herman. Good morning, Bearded. Good evening, everybody in the States. Good evening. Let's keep it moving. Thank you, Rhonda. Let's keep moving. Y'all know I don't like to fly. So, let's keep moving. By the way, this place is like a maze. Just keeps on going. Y'all, man, it's nice to live at a house like this. What seat did I get? I don't know. I go to the airport and pick a seat, but I'm gonna try to get an aisle seat. From Shenzhen to Beijing, 3.5 hours. It was either this or the overnight train. And after the overnight train, Tammy Jones. God, thank you, Tammy Jones. I haven't seen a Rosa Nebula in a long time. Thank you, Tammy Jones. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you very much, Tammy. Thank you. Thank you, Tammy. After the experience I had on the last overnight train, I had the option of taking the overnight train today, actually. Okay? After the snoring incident and the last overnight train, I went ahead and I said, no, I'm gonna go ahead and fly this time. I'm gonna say no to the overnight train. Okay, I saw it, Tammy Jones. I saw it. I love it. Thank you, Tammy Jones. Thank you. Night train. Okay, I saw it, Tammy Jones. I saw it. I love it. Thank you, Tammy Jones. Thank you, Kizzy, for extending your sub. I saw it, Tammy. I love it. Thank you, Tammy. Thank you, Tammy. I appreciate it. Thank you very much, Tammy. You guys remember, right? Freaking. Yeah, thank you, Tammy. I appreciate you. Thank you, Herman. Thank you, Herman. I gotta fly, man. I can't do that again. Thank you, Joan and Herman. I saw that. Tammy Jones, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much, Tammy. Let's keep it moving. Boom. Yeah, it was not good. The snoring was not good. Let's keep it moving. Thank you, Herman. Will I be streaming at the airport? Let me see how my time, let me see if I have enough time, man. Maybe I'll do like a little lunch live stream from the airport. We'll see, man. But when I get back to Shenzhen, I'm gonna be, thank you, Herman. Well, that's the thing. I used it, Charlie. I used the freaking noise canceling headphones when I was on the train, man. I don't like to sleep with a big ass headphone on my ear. You know, it's already hard enough to sleep, and then you got a headphone in your ear, even harder to sleep. Thank you, Herman. Let's keep it moving. Keep walking. Thank you, Herman. Keep walking. Thank you, Herman. Yeah, hey, Tammy, I saw that, by the way. I was just telling the people, I haven't seen a Rosa in a long time, so I really appreciate you. Thank you, Tammy Jones. And then we'll hit the streets, and then we'll get out of here. Good evening in South Florida. Hope you're okay with the storm. Everything is okay. Thank you, Tashia and Matthew. I still love you. See, a lot of these buildings, by the way, here at major Chinese historical sites often go under routine maintenance. So you can see all these scaffolding that's up. That's because they're maintaining the building. Thank you, Emily Wood and Williams. Let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Oh, my Lord. Look at this. Brah, thank you, Pitbull Dad and Emily Wood. Look at this. Man, who does this man think he is? Look at this. Look. Look at this. Thank you, Herman. So you just heard what the tour guide said. Something that looks similar to this, Western style, was burnt to the ground by the British and the French at the old summer palace that we saw. So this is actually one of the few remaining Western style, you could call it, a building facades that you see here in Beijing that wasn't burnt by the British and the French. So this is one of the oldest surviving European style structures here in Beijing in a personal residence. Thank you, Bob. And you look at all these. You guys remember the old summer palace that we saw last night was built by an Italian missionary and 2 Frenchmen. But all we saw was just a bunch of stones on the ground. Thank you, Bob. This right here is the real thing. It's beautiful. Look at this. Thank you, Herman. Yeah, it's good to see one actually intact and not burnt up and destroyed. So let's go to the main living area. Thank you, Emily Wood and Herman. Let's keep it moving. Let's come to the other side. There's a lot of people here. I'm going in the opposite direction of everybody. Thank you, Caddy and thank you, Caddy and TLC. So look, you could even hear it in the people when they walk right past me. Nobody talk about Prince Gong, man. Everybody's talking about Qianlong. Everybody's talking about He Shen. You know, so it's like it's an unwritten understanding. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Man, I'm lost. What the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? I'm lost. Keep going this way. This place is like a freaking alley after alley. What the hell's going on over here? Let's keep moving. Thank you, Herman. Did I see this earlier? Hold up one second, man. I'm lost. Thank you, Herman. People everywhere. I need a freaking tour guide. I think I haven't seen this building over here. Hold on one second. All right, let's see what this is. Okay, I don't remember being here. Thank you, Herman and Gabriella. Much love to you too. Thank you, Gabriella. Have I been here before? I have been here before. Thank you, Terry. This is where I got lost. Okay, hold on one second. So this is where we began the live stream after we passed through the first gate. Thank you, Fun Times. Okay, so this building we did see. Okay, this is where we saw the Qing Dynasty officials' court dress and what the prince wore. So we saw this. Okay, that's a check. And then let's go ahead and get up out of here. Let's keep moving further into the house. So we saw this already. Thank you, Fun Times. Thank you, Tashia. Oh, they speak English over here. Thank you, Tashia. Oh, they speak English over here. They speaking American over there. Let's keep it moving. I'm a human walking robot, y'all. I'm a human walking robot. Let's keep moving. Thank you, JZN. All right, now let's come this way. Jeannie and Herman, they say all I do is win, 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 win. All I do is walk, 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 walk. All I do is walk. Let's keep it moving. What we got in here? All right, I'm gonna show it to y'all real quick. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank Thank you, Herman. They're doing renovation over here, so we can go and get up out of here. Thank you, Herman. They're doing renovation. All right. Take a look at this building from the front. This is another main hall over here. Thank you, Jason. Please follow the channel and share this live stream, and let's keep it moving. Thank you, Strawberry. That's way too many people here, man. I'm ready to hit the streets. Way too many people here. Oh, let's see what this is. 家乐. Oh, so this is a hall of worship, and that right there was a bedroom over there. So this was one of the bedrooms of the entire house. This was a house of worship that's modeled after a hall in the Forbidden City. Conceptually, now this is making more and more sense to me. This is basically a mini version of the Forbidden City. Because of the rank of this prince was much lower than that of the emperor, so he lived in a mini version of the Forbidden City, whereas the emperor lived in the real thing. Thank you, All Things. Yes, it's a very beautiful building. The roofs are beautiful. And once again, you guys remember when we were at the Temple of Heaven, all the roofs were dark navy blue, and you see how here all the roof ceramic tiles are all light green? Y'all see that? Thank you, Julius. Quite different, right? Let's keep moving. Follow the channel. Share this live stream. Let's go and get out of here. Let's get out of this construction area. Go further into the back of the house, and then we'll get into the streets. Thank you, Tashia. I was having a conversation with the fan who drove me here this morning. Thank you, White Boy Ritz. You know, his name is LJ on the channel. We was having just a conversation on the way here. He was telling me, like, all the things that we see, like, all the things that we see in Beijing today, like the big malls, the big fancy apartment buildings and all that. Like 100 years ago, they all used to be hutongs. The hutongs were all torn down. So this is why, like, when you go to SKP Mall, when you go to China World, when you go to all those nice places, you got to remember, like 100 years ago, they were all flat 2-story buildings. They were all flat 1-2-story buildings that are made out of hutongs, just like this, what you see here. And now it's all been replaced by glass and concrete, you know? So you kind of, when you drive down the street and you see it all, and now it's all been replaced by glass and concrete, you know? So you kind of, when you drive down the street and you see it all, you can just imagine 100 years ago what it looks like. Man, this is cool. Fitting that we are lagging on our very last day. Of course, Carolina, I appreciate you for that comment. Thank you, Greg Robertson. Thank you, All Things. I think it's very fitting that on our last day here in Beijing, our signal is lagging. I think it's very, very fitting. Because the first day that we were here, it was lagging. The very last day we're here, also lagging. Thank you, Raven. Of course, you're welcome, y'all. We're going to Taiwan, China on October 2nd. So make sure y'all follow the channel, everybody. Ooh, thank you, Herman. Hit the follow button. We're going to Taiwan, China, October 2nd. Look at how many people there are here. Thank you, Gabriella. Everybody and their mama is here. Everybody and their mama is here. We got tour guides doing their own thing. We got tour groups. Everybody and their mama is here. Thank you, Tar Heel Babe. Man. Let's keep moving. Let's go see what these people are taking photos of. This must be pretty famous. Lots of people are taking photos here. This right here is called Xijing. What the hell is this word right here? Zai? I don't even know how to say this word right here, man. How do the Chinese people? How do you say this word? Is it zai? Xijing zai? How do you say that word right here? I don't even recognize this word, man. I got a 5th grade education over here in China, man. Zai? That's a shit. I was right, man. It is zai. Man, Oliver, don't comment, man. You don't know. What's your 4th grade looking ass? This gotta be zai. Gotta be zai. Man, what's your Oliver with your 4th grade looking ass? You don't know what this word is, man. What's your 4th grade looking ass? Shit. Oh, look. It is zai. It is zai. Look. It is zai. Shit, my Chinese real good. Shit, I might take the Chinese SAT tomorrow, man. Get into college all over again here in China. All right, this car was built by Xenqin. Oh, this is the famous one. This is the 2-story Jingsi gold Nanmu wood structure building, an imitation of the Ningshou Palace of the Forbidden City. The construction style followed the imperial compartmental building pattern. It was regarded as one of Xenqin's sins, for which Xenqin was punished. So we're gonna go ahead and go in here, man. We're gonna go in here right now. Now, this hall, there's a reason why so many freaking people are crowded here to take photos. Okay, the reason why so many people are taking photos here is because, let me explain this to you guys again, because this is gonna blow your mind. Every piece of the wood pillar, I'm gonna quiz y'all real quick. Y'all see those wood pillars that I'm about to show you guys? All these people trying to take photographs. Make a guess. How much money do you think one piece of wood pillar? There's like a dozen of them in there. How much do you guys one piece of wood pillar cost here in the Prince Gong Palace that you're about to see? One piece of pillar. Give me a US dollar estimate. US dollar estimate. How much do you think one piece of wood cost here in this mansion? $5,000. I'm talking about US dollars. $1,000, $120,000, $5,000. He's at $69. $50,000, $2,500. Okay, $3 million, $1 million, $80K, $4 million. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go ahead and take off my sunglasses for this one, because I ain't never even seen this before. Okay, so this is kind of cool, man. So, of all those pillars that you see in here, without being exaggerative, okay, see all these people taking. Okay, y'all see all those wood pillars right there? That's 1, that's 2, that's 3. Each one of them, without being too exaggerative, should be between 2 to 5 million US dollars each, in my opinion. 2 to 5 million US dollars each. You see, this is why all these people look at all these people clamoring to get a view. Look at them. Look at all these people clamoring to get a photo of a piece of wood. Now see this? Look at everybody trying to take photos of a piece of wood over here. $2 to $5 million. I'm gonna explain to you guys why in a second. I'm gonna try to show you guys first, but you see all these people over here. I'm trying to get a view. I'm trying to look real quick. Okay, so I'm trying to get in here, man. I can't get in. There's way too many people. 0 Degree said, yeah, I got a wood. Man, let me show you. Try to get in the front. Hard to get in here, man. There's a lot of people. Everybody wants to see this. This is the most famous thing in the entire Prince Gong's mansion. This thing right here.
应该是香堂木，是吧？美女叫香堂木，对吧？哦。
Made a new friend over here. All right, man. Y'all see the pillars? Take a look at the pillars. All right, take a look at those wood pillars. 2 to 5 million US dollars each. All right, man. He gone, man. Coming up here. I'm coming in. So that's one right there. That's 2 to 5 million dollars, right? It's another 2 to 5 million dollars for that one right there. Another 2 to 5 million dollars for that one. Look at this. Man. Follow the channel, y'all. I'm gonna explain to you guys, man, why this is so goes, man. Mr. Kenneth is here. Thank you, Kenneth. Oh my God. Thank you, Kenneth, for blessing the channel, sir. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Tammy Jones. Thank you, Kenneth. That's amazing. Thank you, Kenneth. Man, you are a blessing to the channel. Thank you, Petunia. Thank you. Kenneth, I was just explaining. I'm going to give other people a chance to look. We're here at the Prince Gong's mansion. Thank you, Miss Crystal and Glinda. This is our last day here in Beijing. We're heading back to Shenzhen tonight, or this afternoon. I was just explaining to the people that this is the main attraction here at the Prince Gong's mansion. These pieces of wood over here are all made out of Jingsi Nanmu. Thank you, Steph and Sherry, which is a type of wood here in China that is essentially nearly extinct. It is one of the most valuable wood varieties in all of China. And that is what this entire pillar is made out of, an entire tree. Okay? The imperial family during the Ming and Qing dynasties loved to use this Jingsi Nanmu, but only the imperial people can afford it. So you guys can see how beautiful and glorious this looks. Thank you so much, Kenneth. I appreciate that comment. Thank you, sir. It's with your help, with Tammy Jones's help, that I get to keep going. Thank you, Kimberly and Jenny. It's with y'all's help that I get to keep doing it. Thank you, guys. Let me give the other people some space over here. Thank you, Shauna. So you can see, once again, just look at how many people are clamoring to get a view of this, right? A few places here in China you can see Jingsi Nanmu. One of them is in Beijing in the 13 Ming Dynasty tombs in Changling. When you go in there, the wood pillars are even more impressive than this. Now, I think the sign over here is going to do a better job of explaining it than me. You can see the sign here is Chinese and English. All right, you can see, it says right here, it was a 2-story gold Nanmu wood structure. So it's, in English, it's called gold Nanmu, Jingsi Nanmu, which means this wood, it doesn't actually look like gold, but it's so valuable, it's just as valuable as gold. Thank you, Houston. Now, if you try to cut that tree down today in China, you'll be going to prison. Thank you, Martha. There's not many of those trees left here in China. And I believe the original variety that was available in Sichuan province in the middle of China, like where Kansas is in America, I believe those trees are nearly extinct. And the punishment for cutting it down illegally is prison. You would go to prison for cutting that tree down. So this is why you really have to come to a historical place like this in order to be able to see real Jingsi Nanmu. So like I said before, one pillar inside, $2 to $5 million US. Thank you, Petunia. $2 to $5 million US per pillar in there, because there's just not that many of them in the world. Rarity is the name of the game. Thank you, Houston and Sherry. And by the way, just look at how beautiful this building is. Very, very beautiful. You got paintings. You got all types of paintings on the pillars everywhere, and you have a painting here on the right as well. It's an absolutely gorgeous building. There's a lot of tree. Thank you, Kenneth. I appreciate that, man. Thank you for always blessing the channel. I apologize. Yesterday we were lagging a little bit at the old Summer Palace when you showed up. We were lagging here as well because there's so many people here. Thank you, All Things and Karen. Thank you, Houston and Karen. Even more, man. So many people here. Thank you, Jeannie. Thank y'all so much for all the love and support. It's been 3 months on the road. I go back to Shenzhen for 3 days of recovery, and then I go to Taiwan, China. Make sure y'all follow the channel, man, and share this live stream. I will be in Taiwan, China on October 2nd. Thank you, Houston and Eric. I will keep streaming from Shenzhen the next 3 days, but at least I get to sleep in my own bed for the first time in 3 months. So let's keep it moving, y'all. Let's keep it moving. Let me give you guys one last view before we keep it moving. Thank you, Shauna. This is the main hall, man. This is what everybody pays to come in here and see. Beautiful. Look at this. Thank you, Houston. Now I can't even get up there at all, man. There's people everywhere. Thank you, Pamela, and All Things. No, it's the boom boom. Thank you, Pamela and Zay. Thank you, Hako, for extending your sub.
当年和珅呢被抄家了，里面的家具都完全没了。
Freaking beautiful. I know I'm be happy to go home. It's nice being on the road, but I gotta make sure my apartment is still okay. Thank you, Daniel Collector. Let's go ahead and get up out of here. There's way too many people. Way too many people. Everybody wants to see this. Once again, the main hall of Heshen's court. Also goes to show you a moral lesson about life. Be a good person. I'm telling you guys, be a good person, because if you do bad stuff, man, it's gonna catch up with you. Heshen had a glamorous 40, 50 years of his life. At the end of the day, corruption did catch up with him. You know what I'm saying? Moral of the story, you can fool some people for a little bit of the time. You can't fool everybody all of the time. Thank you, Houston and OMG fam. You know, eventually his crimes did catch up with him, and this is why, even though he lived in such a fancy building here, all of his crimes did catch up with him, and his ending was not very, very good. So this is, like I said, a lesson. You know, no matter how much wealth you attain in your life, thank you, OMG fam and Darce, when you're gone, that's all it is. It's just things. It doesn't even belong to you anymore when you're gone. You know, just material things. Things for other people after you to come and admire. Things for other people to come and look at. It doesn't even belong to you after you leave this earth. You know, Heshen was, like I said, probably the wealthiest person in modern Chinese history. In the last 500 years, Heshen was the wealthiest person in Chinese history, wealthier than the emperor. He was literally wealthier than the emperor, and you can see his home is open to the public today. Thank you, Nook E. Very, very open to the public, right? He never got to take any of this with him into the afterlife. So let's go ahead and get him out of here, y'all. Let's go ahead and get him out of here. Let's keep moving. Thank you, Dave. There's a food character. How do they heat all these buildings is a great question. It's actually a great question. A lot of wood and a lot of coal was burnt in order to heat these buildings. But also, you have to understand, when you're looking at traditional Chinese architecture and traditional Chinese buildings here in Beijing and really throughout northern China, the way these homes are built is actually very well insulated. Thank you, Country Bro and Melanated. Country Box, thank you so much. It's actually very, very well insulated. So what I mean by that is, if you look at these buildings here, okay, they don't need all that heating in order to stay warm during the winter. Because the way the architects built it is supposed to be a concept in Chinese called 冬暖夏凉, which means in the winter it'll be warm, in the summer it'll stay cool. That is the core principle of Chinese high-end architecture, is to make it so that nature can cool the house down in the summer, and nature can keep this place warm during the winter time. Okay? Unlike most common people during that time who were living in freaking shacks and huts. Okay? The people that had means back in the Qing dynasty, all the Chinese dynasties lived in buildings that were very well designed to be very, very comfortable in all seasons. Let's keep it moving, y'all. I'm probably gonna lose signal in this part right here, so please bear with me. We're probably gonna lose signal. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You know, back home in America, we would think about it as just like we're gonna run the AC, the air conditioning. But here in China, it's a little bit different. They actually care about how to naturally heat up the home. Let's keep it moving. In America, it's all about, you know, having an AC unit, you know, using electricity. But here in China, a lot of homes really care about good ventilation. And this is why, like, when you see a lot of Chinese Americans who are buying homes, a lot of Chinese people who are buying homes here, here in America, when they buy a home, go this way. Let's go this way right here. When you see a lot of Chinese people who buy a home in America, they always tell the real estate agent, including my mom, the house has to face south. The main direction of the house has to face south. Not east, not north, not west, especially not west. The house needs to face south. Okay? They really care about that natural ventilation stuff. Like the Chinese people, even today, they really care about it. So this is why homes in China, if it's facing south, typically worth a little bit more money than, let's say, facing west or facing north. So let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving, y'all. Follow the channel and share this live stream, y'all. Hit the follow button and share this live stream. Thank you, Jeannie. I appreciate everybody for all the love, man. See Tammy Jones and Jeannie, everybody, man. And Charlie Lambert, you know what I'm saying? Like Mauricio Lee, everybody for all the love. Listen to me. We got guys like Kenneth, man. He literally stays for like, how long did Kenneth stay? Oliver, did you see Kenneth? This guy literally stayed for 2 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he just blesses the channel every single week, keeps me on the road. You know what I'm saying? He literally stayed for 2 minutes. He left a couple of comments, told me to keep it moving, told me to keep doing what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just amazing how many people there are who bless the channel, man. There's like people like the Chocolate Goddess. I never see. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just amazing how many people there are who bless the channel, man. There's like people like the Chocolate Goddess. I never see her. Every time I see her, something explodes. Live stream. Thank you, Petunia. Thank you, Houston. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I would like you guys to be like Terry and Tammy and watch on the regular. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of people are busy. They can only watch a few minutes at a time. This is just a blessing to the channel, man. Like I said, this is the reason why I get humbled doing this, man. It's just like literally people that exist outside in this world that just come here and do this and expect nothing in return. It's crazy. Thank you, Lori and Rosa. It messes with my worldview a bit, to be honest, man. They're like messing with my worldview a bit. Let's keep moving. Messing with my worldview a bit. Let's keep moving. Dylan, thank you, Candace and Kim D. Thank you, All Things and Marigold. Go this way right here. I know Dylan watches every day. I'm just people blessing the channel, man. Derek. There's way too many people to name, man. Jeanette, Jeannie. Thank you, Michu. I'm actually thinking about doing this. I'm actually thinking about doing this, y'all. Since it is our last day here in Beijing, I'm actually thinking about getting one of these plaques and putting it at the well here. Thank you, Greg Robertson and Storms. Yeah, probably gonna have an airport lunch. What time is it on the East Coast, everybody? I gotta have a hard stop today, right around 12:15, 12:30. Yeah, right around 12:30. So we gotta get up out of here. We gotta get up out of here. Thank you, Cecilia. How much is this?哥们，这一个多少？这个红的，它这一个怎么卖？25一个。Thank you, Jeannie. I will get a blessing. 哎，老板，我来一个这个，来一个这个红的。我自己弄上去吗？
对。
随便找个地方是吧？
对。
你烧我还是我烧你？ We are gonna get one. Hold on one second. Thank you, Jeannie.
可以。
好，谢谢。
来，这留纪念。
好的，谢谢。This is our last day on this trip. We're gonna get one of these plaques and we're gonna hang it up. Let me think about what to write. Thank you, all things. I know, it's gonna be for all of us. So this is the word fu, which, by the way, the word of the day today was hong, which means red. Go ahead and write it right here. So what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to put your name, you're supposed to put your wish, and put the date. We're gonna do it a little bit differently. We're gonna write it in English. Thank you, Steph. All right, hold on one second as I write this, and I'm gonna show you guys what I write. Hold on one second.
我买个牌有礼品，我买这没礼品吗？那你能再给我一个这个吗？
你要写一个嘛？你也不会写，让我妈妈写一个。哦，他那是不是粉盆？哎，你好，这个福牌是。
All right, finished.
写完自己随便挂上。
That's what I wrote right here.
挂不挂也行。
Can y'all see it?
那还不是我不会写，
It says, to the Monkey Kong family,
等一下，等一下。
it's been a blessing. Many more blessings and good health
开始
to our families and us in the future. All right, so once again, to the Monkey Kong family, it's been a blessing. Many more blessings and good health to our families and us in the future. Thank you, Cecilia. Thank you, Lainey. Go ahead and hang this up. Find a little spot right here. Thank you, Debbie, Phoebe. Thank y'all. All right, where do you think we should put it? We should probably put it next to this well. Should we put it on this tree? Thank you, Sumaya and Steph. See, my father was born in the year of the dragon. Thank you, Pepper and Susie. So I want to put this as. I want to put this as clean. I want to put this as close to the. Take my hat off first. I see the long one right here. So this is not Buddhist, by the way. This is Taoist. So let me figure out where to put it. How do they even hang this up? How do they do this? Oh, they hang it beneath the other one. All right, I see what they're doing over here. Thank you, Kit Kat and Jeff. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, y'all. Hold on one second, man. I'm trying to figure out how to get up there, man, because that's where I really want to put it up. I need to get me a chair or something. Put it up there. Who put this shit? Who put this up there, man? Yao Ming? Man, who put this up here? Fucking Yao Ming? I'm gonna try to put it up there. Let me see if I can put it up there. Thank you, German girl. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, y'all. To the Monkey Kong family, it's been a blessing. Many more blessings and good health to our families and us in the future. Perfect. It's a nice way to put a bow and tie. Nice way to, for our last day on this trip. Let's keep exploring Prince Gong's mansion. Thank you, Martha and Night Wolf. and go ahead and get up out of here. Let's hit the streets. Got about another hour and a half to explore the streets around here. There's a lot of hutongs over here. So let's go ahead and keep exploring. Now we get back to the Imperial Garden part. Thank you, Mark and Combe. Now we're at the garden part of the home. You have to remember, here in any major Chinese person's home, they have to have a garden. Right? The concept of a garden is very important. This is Xenqin's garden over here. Thank you, Peppermint. So there was his personal living quarters, there was his living room, and here, right here, is the garden. It is absolutely beautiful, man. This is his backyard right here. Look at that, absolutely beautiful, man. Hit the follow button and share this live stream, y'all. Yeah, this is a traditional Chinese garden with all the lotus leaves. Thank you, Joey D, for the first gift. Thank you for the heart me. Thank you, Joe Low. The heart me's help us move up the rankings. Let's keep moving. And there is an obsession with Chinese elites during ancient dynasties. There's an obsession to build these imitation mountains everywhere. I don't know why they love it, but this is very, very popular with the elites of that era. Thank you, FD Bills and Candace and Kimberly. They love to build these imitation mountains and these pavilions. Thank you, Candace. You see this throughout China. All those places that we've been to, they all have these like imitation rocks. They try to imitate the natural scenery of a river, a lake, plus a mountain right here in their backyard. Beautiful. Very different from those European mansions, those European castles, you know? Let's keep moving. And thank you, Lavish. And also, whereas the Forbidden City hardly had any trees, except in the backyard, look how many trees there are everywhere. Thank you, Lavish, and it's beautiful. And do you guys know, all the Americans that are watching, do you guys know why it's very important for a prince to be giving good